Welcome. My name is Chris and this is episode 5 of Yoga for Athletes. Come into a kneeling position at the bottom of your mat. Close your eyes, keep your spine upright and keep your shoulders relaxed. Take a moment to arrive on your mat and set an intention for today's practice. Your intention could be stuff like getting stronger and getting more flexible, but it's also possible for you to set an intention like staying in the present moment and enjoying this practice. So just make up your own intention and focus. And with the next inhale, slowly blink open your eyes and come into a tabletop position for a quick wrist and foot warm-up. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes and start rocking back and forward. Every time before I do arm balances and putting weight onto my hands, I like to warm up my wrists so I keep my wrists safe and strong. So spread your fingers, grip the mat, and keep rocking back and forward. Now every time you shift your weight backwards, lift up your hands slightly and externally rotate your arms so your fingers are rotating to the outside more and more until your fingers are pointing towards your knees. Keep your fingers spread the entire time and try to put the whole palm onto the ground. Keep shifting your weight back and forward. And the same way you ended up with the fingers pointing towards your knees, try to come back into a neutral tabletop position with your fingers pointing towards the front. And keep going and make an external rotation in your shoulders so the fingers are pointing towards each other. And go as far as you can without any pain in your wrists. And then slowly, step by step, return into a neutral hand position. Now slowly release, sit back on your heels and shake out your wrists. Stay on your toes the entire time, so you stretch out your toes a little bit more. Just make some movements that feel good right now. And from here bring your hands to the ground and shift your weight back into a downward facing dog. Reach your hips up high. Keep your knees bent for now, but focus on keeping the back straight. Push away from the ground and relax your neck muscles. Keep breathing in and out of your nose. Connect with your breath, and our goal is to combine our breathing with our movements. And even though the practice may get hard or difficult, try to stay calm and control your breathing. It's easier said than done, I know, but with practice you will eventually get better at it. And the more often you do exercises or practices like this, the easier it will get for you. So keep practicing, keep showing up, and work with the body you have today. So don't worry about making the perfect practice or having the perfect breathing pattern, but do your best and enjoy. Inhale through the nose here and exhale. And with the next inhale, slowly shift your weight forward like a wave into a plank position. Bring your hips at the same height as your shoulders. Engage your glutes. Pull in the belly button a little bit and push away from the ground. Remember to spread your fingers, grip the mat with your fingers so your hands are active. And stay with your breathing. So this practice mainly consists of long holds, so you better make yourself comfortable in this position because we're gonna stay here for a while now. So keep breathing, keep your face relaxed, push away from the ground, and every time your mind shifts toward the future because you wonder how long it will be until we move into another position, just come back to your breathing in and out through the nose and stay in the present moment. Relax your face, relax your jaw, and just enjoy the feeling that you can feel your body. Maybe it's shaking already, so yeah, have fun with it. And now shift your weight onto your right hand and your right foot and come into a side plank on the right side. Lift your left arm up towards the sky and keep your hips high off the ground. So push your hips up high, push your hips forward a little bit and rotate your left hip back a little bit more. If you want to challenge yourself and make this practice harder, just try closing your eyes in all the positions we do. This will help you get a better feel for your body and you will work on your balance a lot. And of course, if this is too hard for you, just leave your eyes open. With the next inhale, lift up your left knee, draw it towards the left armpit and slowly step your left foot to the top left corner of your mat. And with the next inhale, rise up into a crescent lunge, so your left foot is flat and you're on your right toes. Reach your hands up high, engage your core muscles and make sure you can see your left big toes so your left knee isn't falling to the inside. Keep an upright upper body and sit down with the hips a little bit lower so your right knee comes closer towards the ground. Also draw your shoulders a little bit back and down so you don't shrug up your shoulders towards the ears. Remember to keep your focus on your breathing. And it doesn't matter how difficult it gets, just always come back to your breath. The breath is our meditation object and it helps us staying in the present moment. So try to use it and don't get frustrated if it doesn't work. It's part of the practice. So just every time you lose the focus, just gently remind yourself to come back to your breathing. And with the next exhale, slowly lower down your arms to the front and come into a warrior 2 position. Maybe you have to adjust the distance of your feet. So both heels are in line, your right foot is parallel to the short side of the mat and your left knee is still bent. Your right knee is straight and keep both arms parallel to the ground and look over your left middle finger. Keep the shoulders relaxed, push your left knee towards the outside a little bit more and close your eyes. Inhale here and with the next exhale, bring both hands down to the ground and step back into a downward facing dog. Slowly bend your arms, bring your chest close to the ground and lift up for an upward facing dog. And with the exhale, come back into a downward facing dog. Again, push away from the ground, close your eyes, and maybe you can even straighten your legs a little bit more by now. Try to find stillness in this position and slow down your breathing. Two more deep breaths. And with the next inhale, slowly shift forward again into a plank position. Clean up your plank, push away from the ground, and engage your core muscles. Keep pushing even though it gets difficult, and remember to breathe in and out through the nose. With the next inhale, shift your weight onto your left hand and come into a side plank on the left side. Reach your left arm up, keep the fingertips active in both hands and reach your hips up high. Only a couple more seconds. With your next inhale, lift up your right leg, pull the right knee towards your armpit and step your right foot to the top right corner of your mat. And with the inhale, lift up for Crescent Lunge on this side. Stay on your left toes, keep your right foot flat and make sure your right knee isn't falling to the inside. Also check on your right knee and you should be able to see your right big toe. And if it's not the case, just push your right knee to the outside a little bit more. Pull in your belly button and straighten the arms one more time. Come back to your breathing. Inhale through the nose. And with your next exhale, slowly come into a Warrior Two position on the other side. Your right knee is still bent and your left leg is straight. Your left foot is parallel to the short side of the mat and your arms are parallel towards the ground. Square your shoulders with your hips, engage your glutes, engage your core muscles, and look over your right middle finger. Inhale here, and with your next exhale, bring your hands down to the ground and step back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, and with your exhale, bend your arms, lower down your chest to the ground, and with your inhale, lift up for upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And again, lower down with your chest, lift up, and come back into downward facing dog. 3 more times. Lower down, up dog, down dog, and connect with your breath. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Breathe in. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale here, and with the next exhale, bend your knees, hop or step to the front of your mat, and come into a forward fold position. With the next inhale, lift halfway up, straighten your back, exhale, forward fold. So we're gonna stay here for a couple in and exhales. So relax your arms, relax your neck, and reach your hips up high. You can leave your knees bent, but make sure you feel the stretch in the back side of your body. If it's comfortable for you, you can grab opposite elbows and swing side to side a little bit. So give your body time to open up and never go over your pain tolerance. Eventually you will get more flexible, but give your body time and work with what you have today. By now maybe you're able to straighten your legs a little bit more or make your upper body fall forward more. So be gentle with yourself and again, breathe. If you grab your elbows, slowly release your arms. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fall. Bend your knees and with your inhale, slowly roll up to standing. Reach your hands up high. Exhale, come into chair pose. Sit your hips back, keep your chest up. Look down to your knees and feet and make sure your feet are pointing in the same direction as your knees. Always keep the core and glute muscles engaged and focus on your breathing. Stay in chair pose, but now lift up your heels and lower your hips down even further. Hold here. Keep your chest up, straighten your arms, and with the next exhale, slowly lower down. Bring your butt to the ground for boat pose. Lift up your legs, your shins should be parallel to the ground. Point your feet, reach with your hands forward and keep your chest up. Keep your back straight the entire time and keep the control of your breath. Activate your core muscles, but make sure you still can breathe comfortably. One more inhale here. And with your next exhale, slowly release, lower down your legs. Bring your feet hip width apart and bring your hands behind you for a reverse tabletop. Try to keep a straight line between your upper thigh and your upper body. So push your hips up high and let your head hang either to the back or look to the front. Your fingers are pointing towards your feet. So spread your fingers and push away from the ground from your shoulders too. And with your next exhale, shift your hips forward. Keep your hands where they are. And bring your elbows a little bit closer together and keep your chest up for a nice shoulder stretch. With every inhale, you want to grow a little bit taller in the spine. And with every exhale, you want to bend your elbows more slightly. And with the next inhale, shift your hips backwards towards your hands so that your legs are straight now. Keep your hands where they are, and from here we want to keep an upright spine and lift up our right leg. Keep it straight and lower it down again. The other side. Keep lifting one leg at a time while trying to not lean backwards. Try to stay upright and activate your core and also shin muscles, so you pull your feet towards you. One more time each side. Come back to the middle, and with your next exhale, lean forward for a seated forward fold. Keep your feet and your legs together and lean forward with your chest. So we want to bend forward from the hips, not the spine. So we want to keep a relatively straight back and maybe try to think of pushing forward with the chest instead of going down with your head. And you can grab what you ever can grab. So maybe it's the feet, maybe it's just the backside of your upper thigh or your lower thigh. So it doesn't matter how far you can go as long as you can feel the stretch. Release every bit of tension that you don't need to be in this position. So relax your face, relax your jaw, and keep the shoulders away from the ears. Two more deep breaths here. Inhale, release, shake out your legs, and then cross the legs to roll over into a tabletop position. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips for a couple of rounds of cat and cow. With your next inhale, arch your back, look forward. And with your exhale, bring your chin to the chest, round your back for cat. And keep going. Inhale, look forward and arch your back, pull your shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, round your back and come into a cat pose. Push away from the ground in cat pose, go really slow and enjoy the movement. And one last time, arch your back, look forward for cow pose. And with your next inhale, come back into cat pose, round your back, push away from the ground from your shoulders. Keep your hands safe by spreading the fingers. And from here, come back into a downward facing dog. Stay here or with your next exhale, slowly bend your arms and lower down your forearms for Dolphin Pose. So Dolphin Pose is basically the same position as Downward Facing Dog, except that your forearms are on the ground instead of your hands. So reach your hips up high and keep your back straight. Your heels can be up and your knees can be bent, but push away from the ground with your shoulders. Push your chest closer towards your upper thighs and keep the control of your breathing the entire time. Keep your face relaxed, keep your fingers relaxed, and enjoy being in this position. One more inhale here, and with the next exhale, slowly lower down your knees and slide your chest forward into an upward facing dog. Roll your shoulders back, push back your head a little bit more, and keep your chin parallel to the ground. The only thing touching the floor right now are your hands and the top of your feet. Push away from the ground with your shoulders and pay attention to your lower back. So it's better to engage your glute muscles so your lumbar spine is safe the entire time. Inhale here, and with the next exhale, shift your hips up high to a downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward into a plank position. And now we lower down the chest really slow towards the ground. So shift your weight forward and keep your elbows close to the body and bend your elbows slowly. A little bit more, lower down. And when you can't hold your weight anymore, slowly lower down your belly and your chest and come into a Sphinx pose. For Sphinx pose, bring your elbows underneath your shoulders, keep your forearms on the ground and push up with your chest. And also keep your feet mat width apart and engage your glute muscles. It's basically a simpler version of the upward facing dog. So you want to focus on the same thing. So push your back with your head and you want to open up the front side of your body. Exhale, slowly release and lower down your chest and shake out your hips from left to right. Now straighten both arms over your head. Pull up your left knee and lean back with your left shoulders for a spine twist. So bring your arms in cactus arms position and try to keep both shoulders on the ground. Keep breathing into your stomach and your face can look up towards the sky or maybe look towards your left arm for a complete twist in your spine. Inhale, slowly release. Come back onto your belly, straighten both legs and then switch sides. So bring your right leg up and bring your right shoulder towards the ground. Come into a cactus arms position and try to bring both shoulders to the ground, and if your right leg lifts up, that's okay too. Look over your right shoulder and keep breathing into your stomach. Inhale, slowly release, come back onto your stomach and shake out your hips one more time. Slowly lift up with your next inhale and come into a kneeling seated position. Make yourself comfortable, gently close your eyes and just feel into your body and enjoy the stillness. Thank yourself for taking time out of your day to do something for yourself, to do something for your physical but also your mental and emotional health. I recommend you to stay in this position for a little while or go into any other position and do some breathing exercises, do some meditation. I have videos for that on my channel too, so maybe check that out. And this video will just end here, and I want to thank you for joining the practice, and I see you next time. Namaste.